Hey everybody, Jennifer here, and welcome to Bunches of Lunches Halloween Edition. Today I'm sharing 4 Halloween lunches that are scary easy to make, plus stay tuned, because in this video we're also sharing our family's Halloween costume reveal. All of these lunches are super fun and spooky. I can't wait to share them with you. Okay friends, I am super excited about this lunch for Mackenzie, and that's because I have something really special for her sweet treat. I'm gonna make something that's kind of like Rice Krispie treats, but instead of using Rice Krispie cereal, I'm using the special Halloween edition Wednesday cereal. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've watched the Wednesday series, but this cereal is very, very chocolatey, and it also has some marshmallows too. Now, instead of using just regular marshmallows, I thought it would be extra festive to use some Peeps, the Frankenstein ones to be exact. Now, I did something very similar back at Christmas time with the Christmas Peeps and at Easter time with the traditional bunny Peeps. But of course, right now we're celebrating Halloween, and I just love that combination of the green with the dark cereal. Now, to this, I'm also adding about half a bag of mini marshmallows. I just want to fill this in all over the top. And now it's time for the butter. This is 1 entire stick of butter. I am putting these treats in Mackenzie's lunch, of course, but we're going to have lots of leftovers too. Now I'm going to pop this in my oven at 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes. I want these marshmallows to just be melted. I don't really want them to be browned or burnt at all. And here's what they look like fresh out of the oven, but I'm not done yet. This is gonna be a 2-person job because this pan is still piping hot. I'm gonna do my best to stir this all together. You guys, this smells so good. It smells so chocolatey, and with the toasted marshmallow, it reminds me of s'mores. Now for these to fit well in a lunchbox, I'm going to make small balls instead of squares. And now while these are still nice and sticky, Miss Lily is going to help me add some festive sprinkles. And you guys, check it out. I still have this much left. I'm gonna add sprinkles to this too, and then set these all aside while I move on to Mackenzie's main course. Right now, Mackenzie's favorite type of sandwich is an egg salad sandwich. So I already have some hard-boiled eggs here. I'm gonna go ahead and chop those up. And then I wanna make this a green egg salad, so it looks really spooky for Halloween. So to do that, I'm going to add some smashed avocado. This adds so much good flavor. If you are a fan of avocado toast with egg, then you would love this egg salad. Now I did just add a little bit of mayo. Next, I'm adding some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to season this up with a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. Gotta keep those vampires away. Now for the sandwich itself, I'm going to make this a very Disney themed sandwich, and that's because we're getting ready to go to Mickey's not so scary Halloween party at Magic Kingdom in just a couple of days. Stay tuned for our costume reveal. To make sure Mackenzie's bread doesn't get soggy, I'm going to add a thin layer of butter, and then I'm going to pile on our egg salad. Then for the top piece of bread, I'm just using an orange Food Writer pen to decorate the top. This turned out so cute, you guys. I love the pumpkin Mickey, and I know Mackenzie will love it too. Now, because this lunch is for my teenager, I did go ahead and make the sandwich into a triple decker. I'm gonna squeeze this into her lunchbox and then move on to the fruit. I'm gonna make some strawberry vampires. To do this, I'm just cutting off the tops of my strawberries. Then I'm gonna cut out a little V to become the mouth. And then for the vampire teeth, I'm just gonna stick in a few slivered almonds. Then right on top, I'm adding some eye picks. In go the strawberries, and then for Mackenzie's veggie, her favorite thing is to have a salad. So I'm gonna completely fill the section with salad, and then on top, I went ahead and made some carrot jack-o'-lanterns. To make these, all I did was peel my carrot, cut 2 notches out of the top to create a stem, and then I sliced them like this to create a pumpkin. Then I carefully took my knife to cut out the face. Now, so far this lunch is really cute, but I do have something spooky to add. One of the things I love to use at this time of year is my skull pan. Now, my favorite thing to make with this is definitely pizza, but this year I'm switching it up, and instead of using a big skull pan, I bought a tiny one. So what I'm going to do is take some string cheeses, I'm gonna cut them into little pieces, and then add them to the pan. Then I put this whole thing in my air fryer for about 10 minutes at just 200 degrees. As the cheese melts, it just goes into all the crevices. And once the cheese has had a chance to cool down, you're left with these little cheese skulls. These are so cute, but definitely on the spookier side. I'm gonna add some of this mozzarella to the top of Mackenzie's salad. And then I'm adding the rest of these for a snack on the side. For a salty snack on the side, I'm also adding in some of these monster veggie chips. And now it's time to add in the sweet treat. And you guys, I had a chance to taste test these myself, and I am shocked. These are actually so tasty. They kind of taste like Cocoa Puffs. And instead of getting hard like Rice Krispie treats can sometimes be, these ones are nice and soft and a little bit chewy. And now last but not least, for Mackenzie's special drink, I'm just throwing in an orange creamsicle Ollie Pop. Now for our first Halloween costume reveal. First up is Mackenzie. Both Mackenzie and Lily chose to dress up as their favorite Disney character. So for Mackenzie, she chose to be Princess Sophia. She used to watch this show all the time when she was little. Okay friends, next up I'm making a lunch for my son Jackson, and for him I want to make a hot lunch. The last couple days here in Florida have actually been pretty chilly. And by chilly I mean in the 60s. So something hot for lunch is gonna be perfect. But before I get started on the main course, I'm gonna make the no-bake treat first. You guys, this one is so easy and it's very creepy. I know he's gonna love it. I'm gonna start by taking just some regular white powdered mini donuts. And I have several different colors of this writing gel. You can find this in the cake decorating aisle at most grocery stores. Now I'm gonna use both blue and green in the center of these donuts. Next, I'm going to take some mini M&Ms and I'm going to add one brown M&M to the center of each of these donuts. Now, if you've already guessed that I'm making an eyeball, you would be correct, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to take some red food gel now to make them look super creepy. And just like that, we have some no-bake Halloween spooky eye donuts. Now I'm gonna set these aside so that hopefully the gel can harden up. And I'm gonna get started on some beefy queso dip. Now my son Jackson loves nachos, but he's not into all the toppings. So to make this nacho cheese, I'm going to start by browning up some beef, and I've seasoned this really well with salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. Now the next thing I'm going to add is just 2 tablespoons of salsa. This one's very mild, but if you like spicy, you could definitely add that too. And then I'm taking a huge shortcut here by using some store-bought nacho cheese sauce. I'm going to add about 1 serving in here, and then to bring it all together, I'm going to add a couple of splashes of milk. Now I'm going to mix this all together. Totally reminds me of a dish we had at Disneyland called queso fundido. It was so good. Now while this is heating up, I'm also going to preheat Jackson's thermos with some boiling hot water. Once the beefy nacho cheese is nice and hot, I'll go ahead and dump out that water and add in that nacho cheese. Now, like I said, Jackson's not a huge fan of all types of toppings for his nachos, but he does love some avocado. So I have a little cup of already smashed up avocado right here. I'll go ahead and put it in the lunchbox. And then keeping with our Halloween theme, I was able to find these orange and black tortilla chips. Now I got these ones at Target, but I've also seen something very similar at Walmart. But for today, I'm just adding the orange ones. Next, since this is a lunch for Jackson, I'm going to put together a very simple Jack Skellington inspired sandwich. I'll go ahead and cut out the bottom bread, and then for the filling, I'm just going to use this dark chocolate peanut butter. Then for the top piece, I'm using my food writer pen and my cookie cutter to create a Jack Skellington face. Now I'm just gonna take this sandwich and add it right on top of the avocado. I think the chips surrounding this sandwich looks super cool. Now moving on to a veggie. I'm keeping things really simple. I'm just adding some shredded carrots. My kids like to eat this like salad, so I do want to add a little bit of ranch on the side. But then for the fruit, I'm doing something that is not very simple, but it is easy. All I'm going to do is take a green apple. I'm gonna cut this into wedges, and then in each wedge, I'm going to take out a smaller wedge, if that makes sense. I'm trying to create a mouth. Now in this area, I'm going to be adding some almond butter. Now you could use peanut butter or even Nutella would be delicious. Now you guys, I'm trying to make these look like monster apples. So the next thing I'm going to do is add 1 slice of strawberry to each apple. This is to look like a big long tongue. And this next part is optional, but I already have some slivered almonds. So I'm just gonna add a couple in here, kind of like big teeth or fangs. And then last but not least, I'm gonna take a little bit more of the almond butter. I'm gonna add some to the back of a large eye sprinkle. And I'm going to stick it right in the front like this. Now I love adding these candy ice sprinkles, but especially with these big ones, my kids don't usually actually eat them. So now that we have the fruit and veg in here, I do wanna add some snacks on the side. First, I'm adding a caramel apple granola bar. And to go along with this, a teeny tiny bag of Halloween pretzels. And now, last but not least, for a very special Halloween drink, I was able to find this Glowberry Prime drink. And no, this is not the one with a bunch of caffeine in it. This one is more like a Gatorade. Now, when it comes to Jackson's costume, both he and Griffin always like the type of costumes that are like a funny food or the type that you just slip on over your clothes. Jackson's been a taco before, he's been a burger, but this year he chose to be a bottle of ketchup. Now that brings me to a lunch for Lily, and as you're gonna see, she likes some foods that the other kids don't, and vice versa. One thing that Lily does love is pasta, but she's not really into meat and sauce with her pasta. She'd rather just have buttered noodles with a little bit of garlic. So a few years ago, I made her this rainbow pasta. This turned out so fun that I thought I'd try to make a Halloween version. Now, of course, you can use whatever pasta you'd like if you want to try to make this, but I'm going to use the one with extra protein. And when it comes to making it colorful, I'm going to be using this plant-based food coloring, except for the color purple. For whatever reason, when I try to use the natural purple color, it just never turns out very purpley. After the pasta is cooked, I'm going to divide it into 3 baggies with the food coloring, and I'm going to mix it all around. Now I'm going to let that sit for just a few minutes while I prepare the butter garlic sauce. You guys, this really isn't a sauce, it's just a few ingredients. I'm just going to melt the butter, add some salt, and then Lily loves this garlic and herb seasoning, so I'm going to add plenty of that. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour on that garlic butter sauce. This pasta could be eaten hot or it could be eaten cold. I think Lily would like it either way. Another thing that Lily loves on her pasta is lots of Parmesan cheese, but I'm gonna go ahead and hide it in the center, and she can just mix it all up before she eats it. Next, for Lily's fruit, I'm just gonna go with a cutie orange. And then another thing that Lily loves is edamame. I just steamed these up and added a little bit of salt. And then right next to those, I'm gonna add another one of Lily's favorites, garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, whatever you call them. When it comes to these, Lily likes salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. Now, to go along with this lunch, I'm also gonna give Lily some Greek yogurt, and I was able to find this pumpkin one from Trader Joe's. I'll go ahead and put this right over here. And you guys know I can't leave it alone. I do want to decorate the top with a few Halloween sprinkles. Now, right next to the yogurt, I have just enough space for a salty and sweet treat. These are kind of like Cheetos, but they have cinnamon and sugar on them. And of course, for Halloween, they have really fun skeleton shapes. And then on the side, I'm gonna throw in one of the easiest no-bake treats that you can make because it's basically just lime jello. I'm gonna take this jello and I'm gonna turn it into a Frankenstein. Now I'm just using a Sharpie, some googly eyes, and for Frankenstein's hair, I'm actually going to use a black cupcake liner and I'm just going to tape it right on top. And then, to complete Frankenstein, I'm going to give him a little zigzag haircut. Now, if you are not a fan of lime jello, you could definitely do this with orange jello and just draw on a jack-o'-lantern face, or you could even get some vanilla pudding and draw on a ghost. And then finally, for Lily's drink, I'm gonna throw in a Kool-Aid. And now for Lily's costume. Her favorite Disney character is not one that's well known. She loves the character Oswald. And if you didn't know, Oswald is technically a rabbit created by Walt Disney, and he's actually older than Mickey Mouse. Now moving on to a lunch for Griffin. One of Griffin's favorite foods has to be pizzas, so I'm gonna make him a spooky pizza waffle. These come together so quickly and you only need a few ingredients. To make the waffle itself, I'm just using my mini dash waffle iron with the spider web design. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this waffle iron to make sure nothing sticks. And then for the dough itself, I'm not actually using pizza dough. Instead, I'm using some flaky layer biscuit dough. And the trick here is to actually pull the biscuit layers apart. And when it comes to these pizzas, you really don't want to overstuff them. Otherwise, that pizza sauce and the cheese is just going to ooze out. And speaking of this waffle iron being hot, to really get the design in the waffle, I like to take an oven mitt so I don't burn myself, and I'll actually press down on the top of the waffle iron. Now, if the kids were at home, I would serve these right away when the cheese is still ooey and gooey, but they're also really tasty at room temperature. So I'll go ahead and load up Griffin's lunchbox and then move on to some fruit. Every year around Halloween time, I have to make at least one jack-o'-lantern orange, and I just draw on the face with a food-safe pen. Now to go along with this, I'm also adding in plenty of green grapes. And to make these more creepy looking, I'm going to add lots of eye picks. Next, I'm adding in some cherry tomatoes, and I'm just gonna put a couple of ghost picks in here. Next, I'm going to make some cucumber ghosts, and these are so easy, they come out so cute. I think the trick to these is to actually use these baby cucumbers. I'm not gonna make these very long because I need them to fit in the lunchbox. I'm just going to zigzag cut the bottom of each one, and then I'm using a straw for the eyes. And to go along with the cucumbers, I do want to add a little container of ranch. Next, to the tomatoes, I'm going to add in some Boo Bites. Now, I found these at Target, and it's kind of like a Halloween-inspired trail mix. There's peanuts in here, chocolate-covered pretzels, orange, green, and purple M&Ms, little cookie pieces, and raisins. Now, for a salty snack on the side, I also picked up some of these Ghost and Bat potato snacks. Now, these ones came from Trader Joe's, and they are so cute. I love the little ghosts especially. But since we're out of space in the lunchbox, I I picked up these really spooky snack containers at the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna load this up with our little ghost and bat chips. And then I have something that I want to add in for a surprise. I grabbed a box of Halloween cereal. This one is actually Apple Jacks, but I only want the green one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick those out. And then while I was at Target, I was able to find these ready to go witch hand bags. Now I used to make this craft myself, but I was happy to see that Target has it ready to go. All you have to do is fill up the baggie with any sort of green snack, and it comes out super fun and creepy for Halloween. And then, just like Lily, Griffin is also getting a Kool-Aid for his drink. Now for Griffin's costume, this was a hard choice for him. For the longest time, he wanted to re-wear his costume from last year, which was a rainbow poppet. But when he saw Jackson's ketchup costume, he decided that he wanted to be mustard. I think this costume is perfect for him because he's my kid that absolutely loves mustard. Now friends, I don't want to end this video without revealing my costume and John's costume. We decided to coordinate our costumes with the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. We decided to dress up as Jack and Sally, only I'm dressing up as Jack and he's dressing up as Sally. And there you have it, guys. This video was so fun to make. I hope it inspires you to make some fun lunches for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.